welcome to this week's video. For this week, I'm going to be doing my book haul for the month of February as we try and, oh, perspective, you are not my friend. We try and get through that little block of books that I still have to show you all without adding more to them, but not really because I am weak-willed and books are pretty and I love them. So I have added more, even though I wasn't supposed to. But the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak, y'all. But you know that if you fail, the important thing is to keep trying. So I'm going to keep trying to resist the urge to buy books. But there are books at my evil day job, y'all. How am I supposed to resist them? Employee discount, y'all. Books. I has no self-control. So let's go through this week's books that I have to show you all. We will start with one of my favorite historical romance authors, and that is Lorraine Heath with The Earl Takes a Fancy. Oh, and I will also be doing my draw for the winner of one of my extra copies of Jenny Lucas's Coretti's Forced Bride that I ended up getting 2 copies of. Again, evil day job, employee discount, books. So one lucky winner will be drawn from my draw box here, this beautiful cameo draw box that my sister got me many moons ago that is so pretty. I just have to show that off properly. Look at it. It's so pretty. I love cameo anything. Truly, I am like an 80-year-old woman inside. So we'll do for that the draw for that as well. But for right now, we will start with Lorraine Heath's The Earl Takes a Fancy. Beautiful, and unfortunately, no insert cover. Though born out of wedlock, fancied true love. Of course. Is determined to fulfill her mother's wish that she marry into nobility. Fancy's keen intellect and finishing school manners make her the perfect wife for any gentleman, if he's willing to overlook her scandalous lineage. But Fancy's plans are thrown into chaos when the intriguing commoner begins visiting her bookshop, and she finds herself unable to stop thinking about him. Widowed just a year ago, the reclusive Matthew Somersby, Earl of Rosemont, has been besieged by women hoping to become his next wife. Desperate for anonymity, he sheds society life to search for the peace that eludes him. Fancy's shop is his one refuge. Of course, it's a bookstore. Until the night their passion erupts. Ooh, do they do it in the bookstore? Their passion erupts into a kiss that nearly leads to her ruin, and leaves both longing for more. As Fancy finds herself torn between her family's expectations and her growing feelings for Matthew, secrets are exposed, secrets that force Fancy to question if she could trust her heart's desire. Yes, she can. Indeed, she can. Thumbnail. Next we have Caroline Linden's Ascot to the Heart. And I remember reading a short little novella by Caroline Lindy that I really, really liked. I can't remember what it's called right now. Something Loving the Earl or something like that. There was love and there was Earl. Captain Andrew St. James always knew he came from a noble family, but his branch grew far from the wealth and status. Nothing shocks him more than learning that he now stands as heir presumptive to his distant cousin, the Duke of Carlisle. There is much for Drew to learn and to adjust to, but first he goes home to Edinburgh to tell his mother and 3 sisters of their startling good fortune. Isla Ramsay yearns for some adventure and fun, not another husband. When she discovers the handsome soldier who sweeps her off her feet for a rollicking dance is her friend's brother, soon to be an English duke, She tells herself he's not for her, no matter how tempting he is. But one impulsive kiss, then another, and another, says otherwise. Drew means to marry a respectable, dignified Englishwoman, a very proper future duchess. The spirited Isla is none of that. Still, when she's caught in a dangerous scandal, he leaps to her aid without hesitation, and neither family nor duty nor future obligation can make them ignore what is both in their hearts. So, looking forward to that one. Does it have an insert cover? I don't think. No, it doesn't. Next is Danielle Steele's Fairy Tale. Now, oh, the sticker is like on her face, kind of a little bit. Am I going to be able to take it off, y'all, without ruining her face? See, yeah, it'll come off. Come on, easy. There we go. And I keep trying with Danielle Steele because some of them work for me and some of them don't. I find she's very much a teller and not a shower, which makes it kind of hard to get invested in her novels. But I do love the films that they make from her books, and I did love Zoya, and I loved Star, and I loved Thurston House, which I realized that I don't have on my keeper shelf. What happened to that book? I loved that book. I think I might have loaned it to somebody, and this is sort of why I don't like usually loaning books to people, because then I might not ever see them again. But yeah, that one is on there too. Let me see if this has a blurb. Camille Lamennais has grown up in the Napa Valley amid the beauty of her family's vineyards. After graduating from Stanford, Camille returns to help manage Chateau Joy, the renowned winery lovingly built by her parents, Christophe and Joy, modeled after Christophe's ancient family estate in his native Bordeaux. But their fairy tale ends suddenly with Joy's tragic death. 6 months after losing his wife, the devastated Christophe is easy prey for a mysterious Frenchwoman visiting the valley. The Countess de Pantin is the essence of Parisian seductiveness and sophistication. Camille is shocked by the news that her father intends to remarry. Then she begins to see past the alluring looks, designer clothes, and elegant manners of the Countess, while the innocent Christophe is trapped in her web. When tragedy strikes again, Camille is at the mercy of her stepmother and 2 evil stepbrothers. Fighting first for her legacy and then for her very life, she will find 2 unexpected allies, the Countess's clever elderly mother and a childhood friend who emerges as a prince worthy of any fairy tale. So this is a little bit like a Cinderella retelling, which I normally don't like retellings, but we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Next we have the awesome Macy Yates in A Cowboy for All Seasons. It's an anthology. It's Macy Yates, Caitlin Cruz, Nicole Helm, and Jackie Ashenden. And it's a cowboy anthology. So that should be fun. So the back blurb goes as such. June Gable left each of her 4 granddaughters a handwritten bequest to spend a season at her beloved farmhouse in Jasper Creek, Oregon, before they sell it. These cousins were once as close as sisters, but time and family betrayals have pushed them apart. In spring, polished city girl Kira must find her country roots and reconnect with an old flame. In the summer, tomboy JJ needs to tap into her softer side while helping a single dad and his daughters. Cheerful dreamer Lila has to help coordinate the town craft fair in autumn under the stern eye of the handsome cowboy she loved as a girl. And as winter falls, headstrong, independent Bella must learn to ask for help from the one man she believes she can never have. The four cousins will have to confront secrets from the past, deal with old wounds they'd rather hide, and tangle with their hard-headed cowboys before they can find love, healing, and the true meaning of family. So, very interested in that one. Next we have The Winemaker's Wife by Kristen Harmel, and I have heard wonderful things about this book. And it is right up my alley because right away we start Champagne, 1940. Inez has just married Michel, owner of the storied champagne house Maison Chauveau, when the Germans invade. As the danger mounts, Michel turns his back on his marriage to begin hiding munitions for the resistance. Inez fears they'll be exposed, but for Céline, the French-Jewish wife of Chauveau's chef de cave, the risk is even greater. Rumors abound of Jews being shipped east to an unspeakable fate. When Céline recklessly follows her heart in one desperate bid for happiness, and Inez makes a dangerous mistake with a Nazi collaborator, they risk the lives of those they love and the vineyard that ties them together. New York, 2019. Recently divorced Liv Kent is at rock bottom when her feisty, eccentric French grandmother shows up unannounced, insisting on a trip to France. But the older woman has an ulterior motive and a tragic decades-old story to share. When past and present finally collide, Liv finds herself on a road to salvation that leads right to the caves of the Maison Chauveau. So, I'm so looking forward to this. I love the sort of like epic, sort of, I guess, dual timeline things is like what they call them, and the sort of like connections that are formed from like history, and then how those sort of like affect the next generation kind of thing. I love those stories so much. So looking forward to that one. The next one is a very old school Harlequin romance, The Right Time by Maura McGivney. And there's the cover. And it's, what year? What year are you? 1986. So it's an old Harlequin from 1986. I got over Ben Harper a long time ago. That's what Danny kept telling herself while she worked in Sydney. That's what Danny kept telling herself. While she worked in Sydney, she could believe it. It was when she went back home to Perth that she realized she was just fooling herself. Her first sight of Ben made her tremble. All the emotions she dammed up over the past 6 years were screaming to be released, but they had to be crushed back. She no longer had the right to love him. He was married. He belonged to someone else now. Oh, that should be very interesting. 1980s. I don't think they can get away with that now. I noticed a lot of Harlequins are set in Australia. And I know that like a lot of Harlequin authors come from Australia. I just felt like I wonder why that is. Next one is a Harlequin Presents Extra, The Millionaire's Chosen Bride by Suzanne James. When Melody takes a much-needed break, the last thing she expects is to have a passionate vacation affair. Shy and modest, she isn't used to devastatingly handsome millionaires like Adam Carlyle, a man clearly accustomed to getting exactly what he wants. However hard Mel tries to resist, Adam tries twice as hard to seduce the innocent beauty. Before long, Adam decides he must take Mel as his bride, if only to ensure she stays right where he wants her, firmly by his side. So, I need you to marry me because I don't want you to leave me. Sure. Next is another Harlequin Presents Extra, The Vasquez Baby by Sarah Morgan. And I love Sarah Morgan's Harlequins. When young and innocent Faith arrives at Raoul's luxurious Argentinian estate, he instantly decides she'll make the perfect mistress. Dressed in diamonds by day and lying between Raoul's silk sheets by night, Faith is swept away by her new lavish lifestyle. But when she discovers that quite by accident she has done the one thing that Raoul has expressly forbidden. Raoul's rules. Life is infinitely more pleasurable if there's someone warming his bed. Marriage and above all babies are strictly off the agenda. Now Faith must face Raoul and tell him that she, the Vasquez mistress, is expecting the Vasquez heir. Oh no, she didn't follow the rules by getting pregnant with sperm that he put in her. So, yeah. I swear to God, if he gets pissed that she's pregnant, this might be a I'm gonna throw it across the room book. Because she wouldn't be pregnant if it wasn't for you. So, we'll put a pin in that one. Next is another Harlequin Presents The Greek's Bridal Bargain by Melanie Milburn. She'd been bought with cold hard cash. Cain will take her and his revenge on her family. Of course he will. And bedded with red-hot passion. Bryony's family is now penniless, and she's at Cain's mercy. He's waited a long time to get Bryony right where he wants her, in his bed, as his wife. Ooh, I'm gonna lie. You know, I love my inappropriate revenge seductions. Next we have another Harlequin Presents Reunited by the Greek's Vows by Andy Brock. Kate O'Connor is stunned when her ex-fiancé, self-made billionaire Nikos Nikolaitis storms back into her life with a shocking demand to complete their previously abandoned trip down the aisle. He'll gain the wife he requires to secure his goddaughter's adoption and save Kate's ailing company. In desperation, she agrees, but on an opulent honeymoon across Europe, these heated adversaries don't anticipate their still smoldering flame to explode into irresistible passion. Next is another Harlequin Presents Shy Queen in the Royal Spotlight by Natalie Anderson. Royal Assistant Hester, not the sexiest of names, knows Playboy Prince Alec is totally out of her league. Shockingly out of the blue, he proposes a marriage of convenience. In return, she'll have millions to help disadvantaged women. Warily, Hester agrees. To retain the throne he sacrificed everything for, Alec must choose a bride. It's Hester's quiet discretion that catches his attention until their unstoppable chemistry reveals her startling beauty and inner fire. Alec sees the queen that Hester could truly become, but the real question is, can she? So, looking forward to that one. Next is The Other Side of Midnight by Sidney Sheldon. And, you know, Sidney Sheldon wrote, I think they passed away. I think he was, and it was made a movie, I believe. I think she passed away a while ago. But I remember Sidney Sheldon was very much the sort of melodramatic, epic crazy sauce that makes for wonderful miniseries. So I'm not surprised that this one was made into a miniseries as well. I think many of their novels were a sweeping drama of 2 continents and 4 passionately intertwined lives. Paris, Washington, a peaceful Midwestern campus, a beautiful villa in Greece, all part of a terrifying web of intrigue and treachery as a ruthless trio of human beings, an incredibly beautiful film star, a legendary Greek tycoon, a womanizing international adventurer, use an innocent American girl as a bewildered, horror-stricken pawn in a desperate game of vengeance and betrayal, love and lust, life and death. Oh, I'm so looking forward to this crazy sauce that is contained in these pages. Cannot wait. Next we have Susan Wiggs, the horsemaster's daughter, and this is her foray into historical romance because Susan Wiggs normally writes contemporaries. Once a privileged Virginia, 1854. Once a privileged son of the South, Hunter Calhoun now stands a widower, shadowed by the scandal of his wife's death. Burying himself in his business breeding thoroughbred racehorses, he's left his family to crumble and his young children to mourn alone. But when a poor investment threatens to bankrupt him, Hunter is forced to seek help by other means. Eliza Flight is a horse whisperer like no other. Removed from the world of wealth and social privilege, she grew up on an isolated island off the coast of Virginia and learned the secrets of gentling horses. When the wounded and grieving Hunter shows up unexpectedly at her doorstep with a crazed and wild stallion in tow, she must brave Virginia society in order to heal them both. As two worlds collide, Hunter and Eliza can no longer fight their attraction for each other, but it just might take a miracle for these two mismatched lovers to find their happily ever after. There. Sorry, the lighting is going a little wonky. It's decided to start snowing and the sun is not existing right now. And it's the afternoon, so I don't think we're getting any sun today. Next is another old school Harlequin presents Robin Donald's The Golden Mask. And if I'm correct, those are sheep in the background. And what year is this old school Harlequin? 1992. Not, well, yeah. See, when you're of a certain age, the 90s don't seem that long ago. But that's like 40 years ago right now. 40, almost 50 years ago right now. 40. 30? Math! Eden knew little of life beyond her family's New Zealand sheep station. She realized exactly how little when Blade Hammond returned to, oh sweet Jesus, only one or one Mahutu. 5 years ago, oh my God, words. 5 years had only enhanced his golden looks and rugged physique and Eden's teenage crush. A crush that was now fueled by desire. Blade made it clear he still thought her a child. She couldn't compete with the glamorous sophisticates he dated. She could only suffer the torment of loving a man so far out of reach. But had Eden just imagined the flash of white-hot emotion behind the golden mask of Blade Hammond's features, or had Blade finally realized she was a woman? I love it. Love it. Cannot wait. And lastly, we have a Whisper of Roses by Teresa Medeiros, and I have read her novels and loved them. And do we have an insert cut? No, we don't. And that's it. A Daring Warrior. As she peered over the edge of the gallery, Sabrina Cameron trembled at the sight of the sun-bronzed giant striding into view. She never recognized the stranger, not until the moment she found herself surrounded by the arms of warm steel and drowning in smoldering green eyes that had once held cool disdain but now shimmered with passion. Morgan MacDonald, the boy had been her tormentor. Now it looked as if Morgan the man would prove infinitely more dangerous. Though hatred divided their clans, Morgan MacDonald had come to Cameron Glen hoping for a truce, only to find that by the evening's end, the only way to avert bloodshed between the two families was for him to marry his enemy's daughter. But even as Morgan spirited Sabrina away to his rugged fortress, his battle would not be won. For this delicate rose of a girl would put up a bold fight, and the spoils of victory would be nothing less than a heathen MacDonald's heart. So, historical romance, clearly. And yeah, really, really looking forward to this one. Love Teresa Medeiros and love her books. Um, so that is it for the books that I wanted to show you. So for right now, we will be doing the draw for one of these double books that I mistakenly picked up. And so I'm giving away one of these, and it's Jenny Lewis's Coretti's Forced Bride. And so we will be doing the draw now from the Magic Draw Box. And so thank you everybody who commented and messaged me, even though I am incoherent and cannot words right now. I will be picking a winner right now, and it is the username All in One Channel. So congratulations to you. You will be getting Jenny Lucas's Coretti's Forced Bride. And so I will be messaging you and to get your mailing details and sending that out to you ASAP. So that is going to be it for this week's video. Make sure that you like and comment and subscribe, and hit the little notification belly thing so that you know when you'll get notified when the video goes up. Follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/authorejamie. Like my Facebook page at facebook.com/authorejamie, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye!